Why does healing feel so heavy when you're doing it alone? The truth is, it's because shame thrives in silence and safety grows in community. Welcome to Unmasking Skin, the podcast for women ready to soften, rise, and glow from the inside out. I'm Tabitha Isabel, but you can call me Tabby. I'm a skin health specialist and the creator of the Skin Triangle Method. And here we blend skincare, nervous system healing, and feminine embodiment. But this isn't just about skin, it's about joining a movement of women who refuse to wait until they're perfect to feel enough. Because your glow was never just about your skin. It's about who you become when you feel safe, radiant, and fully seen. So if you're ready to step into your highest self and glow anywhere, you're in the right place. Let's dive into today's episode. Having a skin disorder and wanting to improve the health of your skin can be incredibly isolated. And I know this firsthand from someone who was severely bullied for her acne as a teenager and surrounded by peers who isolated me further from how I was feeling isolated and different anyway, and then kind of being forced into more isolation. And I know firsthand from that experience and talking to so many different women struggling with their skin, how many of us start the journey feeling so incredibly isolated because not only do we feel so different from everyone else because we have acne, we have rosacea, we have all of this redness that affects our appearance. We're not fitting into that little box that society loves where we're perfect and smiley and feminine and glowing, and because we're struggling with our skin and it affects our self-confidence. And it's such a hard part of the journey is doing the healing alone because you already feel so incredibly isolated yourself that it kind of just adds fuel to the flame and it just makes you feel so horrific in yourself. And I talk a little bit about this in my book, Unmasking Acne, when I'm talking about my skin story and my experience with my skin. And there was a moment when I was at school and I was surrounded by all my peers and I had this really severe, horrible acne. And I remember just thinking, why has this happened? Why am I so different to everyone else? Like, what did I do? And why isn't anybody else's acne this severe? And I was just so isolated, and I really thought there was something seriously wrong with me as a teenager suffering with acne. Like, everybody gets spots, but I was just like, why is nobody getting the extent of my spots where they resemble like large boils and they're really painful? And I was just like, I just don't understand. And that made me feel even worse because there was nobody I knew, in person, online, or anything as such that had the severity of acne that I had. And it made me feel incredibly more isolated because I was just like, well, what's wrong with me? Why am I so different? And that really affected my self-confidence even more. And I truly believe that if I witnessed someone else's story, someone else's skin that resembled even a fraction of what I looked like, that maybe I wouldn't have felt so alone and so unhappy in myself because then I would have known, like, it's not such an abnormality. Like, I'm not that different. I'm not weird for having this thing. And I think that would have really helped me along my healing journey because I think a lot of our healing journeys, especially as women, when our worth is so societally tied to our worth, and our appearance is like supposedly like this massive thing that affects everything and how we're treated and all this. I think it really, really affects us when we feel so out of place, so different. And it really is tied to our nervous system because when we have glowing, gorgeous skin, we feel happier in ourselves and we feel more confident and we feel safe in our bodies. But when we don't, and our skin is suffering, our health is suffering, and we feel isolated, we have this scarcity voice that feels even louder. Which is why I kind of want to talk about community today and how having a community can heal your skin faster. But not only that, but it can actually help regulate your nervous system and make you feel safe in your body whilst you are struggling with your skin and whilst you are on your journey to getting those desired results that you are really, really searching for. And the reason is because when your nervous system is calm and you feel safe in your body and you're regulated, safety spreads through being witnessed. And that is why that happens. Like when you are like, how many of us grew up seeing all of the men in charge, right? All of the men on the news and in these big corporations, CEOs of all these businesses. And in the last few years, we're seeing more and more women rise to power. And it's become so powerful for us to see and witness these people that look like us, that are like us in these positions, because it makes us feel like, well, they've done it. That means it's possible for me. That means that I'm not so alone. That means that I'm not so isolated. And that is so empowering, which is why community is so important, because it reflects back our worth even when we can't see it. This is why joining a community like my own community, which is launching tomorrow, it's the She Glows Anywhere membership, and it comes with my inner circle. It's not just about joining a group. It's about being part of a collective wave of women rising together so we can witness each other. So we don't feel so isolated, we don't feel so alone, and we can rise together and share our own experiences so we don't have to feel so isolated, we don't have to feel so alone. I had a client a few months ago who messaged me out the blue, and she had really severe rosacea, and she said that she struggled to go to her playgroup today, like for her kid, because she knew other mums would be there and they would see her skin. She found it hard to go on public transport, she found it hard to go on buses, and it was just all about that fear of being seen. Now, if she was a part of a community where there were other women feeling the same things she was feeling and doing it anyway and showing the positive results and inspiring each other, how much easier would that have been for her to get on the bus the next day, for her to go to the playgroup the next time? Because even if these people aren't physically in front of us, we know that they're there and we know we can lean on them for support in such a challenging time when we feel so apprehensive about our worth and about how we feel in ourselves and about how we look. And that is why safety is really linked to having a community. It's a place where you're not judged for your skin or your struggles, because it's just women cheering when you take small steps, because they truly understand at a soul level, because they've been in your place. Even if you're not in exactly the same places on your journey, you're on the same journey anyway. Even if you are at different stages, you've walked the same path. So there will never be women who get it more than the people who are on the same journey as you. Even if they have different skin disorders, like there will always be similarities. The fear of being seen, the fear of being witnessed truly as you are in your most authentic, natural state. Like, it is so important to have these safe spaces to go, especially in our society where there might not be as obvious that there are people out there like that, and that we can resonate with them and form relationships with them. So having nervous system tools, rituals, and practices that feel softer because you're doing them with others, that can really up-level your healing journey and get you to your results a lot faster. Because if you're more motivated, you're more inspired, then you really understand that it's inevitable that you get your results, and that helps you along your journey as well. So this is exactly why I created She Glows Anywhere, my membership, my inner circle, so you don't have to do this alone anymore. It's a movement of women choosing softness, embodiment, and choosing to glow anywhere, because you do not get your desired results and magically feel better about yourself. This is such a misconception that I know so many of us have, and I had that as well. I struggled with that with my skin, It's really about something so much deeper. So much deeper. It's about embodying your highest self before you really step into that. Showing up anyway, feeling the fear, and doing it anyway, glowing anyway, because you get to choose to be happy. You get to choose your worth. It's not relying on external validation. It's relying on how you feel in yourself, how you feel safe in your body, and how you show up because of that. Imagine how it would feel to have that support, that community, every single month. I don't even have the words to describe it. I've been a part of so many different communities myself, especially as an entrepreneur. I've been in lots of different business circles and have lots of different mentorships. And the biggest thing that I've taken away from each and every single one of them wasn't the work that I did with them, wasn't the modules, wasn't any of that kind of educational stuff. It was always the community that came with them that kept me motivated, that the women that were putting in the work to do the modules and then seeing the results, and that inspired me more than doing the work. It really does come back to having a safe space to land, so that when you do feel not great in yourself that day, when you're struggling to get on a bus because of that fear of being seen, you can just type into the community, I'm really struggling with this today. Is anyone else feeling like this? So many other people will feel like that. So many people have walked that path, and that you're not alone on this journey. So tomorrow, She Glows Anyway officially opens. This is your first chance to be a part of it from the very, very beginning. If you've been waiting for a sign to stop doing it all alone, this is your sign. Until next week's episode, remember your glow was never just about your skin. It's about your safety in yourself, your self-worth, and choosing to be ready. Because ready is a decision. It doesn't just magically happen. I'm Tabby. I'm sending you so much love. I hope to see you in She Glows Anyway. I'm so excited. And yeah, I will see you then. Bye.